Hey there. Being so difficult to find good employees, you might wonder why today's topic on interview questions is important. Listen, it's not just important, it's critical. I want you to stick around for a minute and I will tell you why. Welcome everybody to another edition of Elite Body Shop's Management Tip of the Week. I'm your host, Dave Luehr, the founder of Elite Body Shop Solutions. So listen, our industry, and you know this, is in a crisis situation. Some of it brought on by society, some of it we have brought on ourselves. That's the part that we can control. Now, many of you can't find the people that you need to sustain your current level of business, let alone grow it to meet your goals. So again, why is it important to ask good interview questions when most shops just need someone who can fog a mirror, right? Let's be real. So some of you, listen, some of you are going to hate me for saying this, even though I say this out of love. There are a handful of shops who are reporting zero talent shortages. They are usually the ones that have carefully crafted with intention an elite culture in their business. Okay. These shops have become what I call the employer of choice in their market area. Now, some people would quit their jobs across town in a heartbeat just to get a chance to work at these shops. So how to become an employer of choice, it's a really big subject, and I promise you, I intend on covering all of it over time, but let's start with just today's topic, okay? These shops that I'm talking about here, they carefully interview new candidates because they want to make sure that they hire the right people to fit their elite culture, right? If they're running what my friend Bruce King calls a round peg company, they don't hire square pegs, only round ones. So many shops are so desperate to hire anyone, they think very short term, don't they? And they hire the first person who comes along, whether they fit the desired culture or not. And folks, this is where the whole problem starts. People don't want to come to work for a crappy culture, right? So soon the shop is going to have a collection of mediocre people and a culture that is simply not conducive to high performers and especially the younger generation of worker that's available to us, right? So therefore, this company is not attractive to the ideal employee that they want, and the business continues to suffer trying to find decent workers, okay? So this is kind of a long way of saying, right? I know I'll get to the point here in a minute, that you need to interview people and ask the right kind of questions to ensure a great culture and to retain a high performance team, right? High performers are not going to stick around if you hire a bunch of low performers. That's just the way it works. So to find people with the right attitude, use open-ended questions during your phone or in-person interviews. Open-ended as opposed to, simple yes or no questions will get the candidate talking and sharing insight on how they think and interact with other people. In other words, they will reveal to you if they are going to be a good fit for the type of culture that you are trying to build or maintain. Let me give you a couple examples of some open-ended questions that I like to use. All right, so here's one. Interview question number one. Tell me what you liked or didn't like in your current or previous job. Tell me what you liked or didn't like, right? That is an open-ended question. Another question I like to ask is, describe for me what a perfect day on the job would be like for you. Okay, here's another one. You ready? When I call your last employer for a reference, what will they likely say about you? Right? You see what I did there? I said I'm going to be calling their references. So I'm kind of calling them out on their BS, and they're more inclined to tell me the truth. Okay. Here's another question. Describe the best and the worst bosses that you've ever worked for. That one's going to bring great insight to you. And then another question here. I could go on for hours like this, but here's another one for you. Just one more. Why do you want to work at my organization? Why do you want to work at my organization? So guys, those are just a couple of examples of some open-ended questions that are going to get the candidate talking and revealing to you the characteristics that you are looking for or maybe aren't looking for. So I'm sure you can think of, your own technically skilled questions, right? You guys are experts at that. But if you want to build an attractive culture and become your market's employer of choice, hire for attitude first, then skill. Skills are a lot easier to train than attitude, okay? So these kind of questions that I shared, these examples, they will create a friendly conversation while giving you the kind of insight that you need to make a good hiring decision, okay? So for most positions over here at Elite, we also recommend using one of our Spectrum personality assessments prior to making any final hiring decisions. Now, these tools provide incredible insight, and I would never, even in my own organization, hire another key person in my organization without using one of these assessments first, okay? Listen, guys, I know it's tough out there, but my goal is to get you guys, my entire Elite community, to build the kind of businesses where all of your competitors' employees want to quit their jobs to come to work for you because you've built that kind of a badass business. All right, you've probably seen this beautiful shop behind me. Thanks to Mike Cox and his amazing crew at Ed's Collision and Glass in Maple Grove, Minnesota, for submitting this photo. Really great operator up there, and one of our Elite Mastermind members as well. If you want to have your shop featured on one of our weekly tips, just submit a photo of your shop. Could be the inside or the outside of you and your team. Just send them to info@elitebodyshopsolutions.com, and you may see your shop on one of these episodes. Again, guys, I'm Dave Luehr from Elite Body Shop Solutions, and we will see you next week for another Body Shop Management Tip of the Week. Thank you for